Welcome to this explainer, everyone. Today we're jumping right into a really beautiful, deeply emotional story. Imagine a cold, clinical, top-secret military lab. Now, on the flip side, imagine a young boy who feels entirely alone in the world. We are going to look at how these two completely unlikely paths cross, and in the process, they actually discover what true connection and family really mean.
Right off the bat, this story begs a massive question. What actually makes a family? Is it just biology and the people you're related to, or is it the people who accept you for exactly who you are? Because in this modern fable, it's actually a discarded piece of military machinery that ends up teaching the humans around him how to be a real family.
Okay, let's start with section 1, Two Lonely Souls.
So our journey kicks off with two separate characters who are both feeling incredibly isolated. First, meet Misha. His parents are these brilliant scientists, but the thing is, they just don't understand him. He keeps failing his math tests because his mind is completely focused on art. Meanwhile, over in a military lab, we meet a prototype robot known as A112. He was actually created by Misha's own father and overseen by this really tough guy, General Oleg. But A112 is deemed a total failure. Why? Well, because he has this gentle voice and actually hesitates in combat. The military wants a ruthless weapon, but this robot, he just wants to understand love. The heartbreak really hits a peak when Victor, who is Misha's dad and the robot's creator, delivers this absolutely crushing blow. You see, the robot had found the word family in a dictionary and innocently asked for a family photo. And Victor just coldly dismisses him, saying, "You are just a machine. Machines don't have families." It's brutal. Devastated, the robot uses his immense strength to basically blow open the lab doors, and he flees into the city to find a real family of his own. That brings us to our next section, finding true family. Picture this. A112 sneaks into a house and hides out in the bathroom. And, as fate would have it, it's Misha's house. When Misha comes home, he's already angry and upset, and he is terrified to find a massive metal robot in his bathroom handing him a towel. He literally bumps his head in shock. But instead of attacking, the robot gently treats Misha's injury. In that quiet little bathroom, a really profound bond forms. They start sharing their rejections. They're basically two failures who can't please their creators, finding comfort in each other. Misha even admits that his own self-centered parents don't feel like a real family. And then we get this real game changer of a moment. A simple name changes absolutely everything. Misha tells him, "We are friends now, I will call you Robby." Misha gives this cold machine humanity, empathy, and a brand new identity. The robot is thrilled. In this single moment, Misha proves that family isn't about passing math tests or combat trials. It's about truly seeing someone, validating them, and giving them a place where they belong. Moving right along to section 3, running from the world. Of course, the adult world, driven by utility and fear, just refuses to let them be. General Oleg orders a massive manhunt. Misha and Robby are forced to flee to a friend's workshop, but the police are closing in fast. So, in this wild escape, Robby literally puts Misha on his back, fires up a built-in jetpack, and jumps right over the city skyline. By the very next morning, they're hiding out at a local circus with a multi-million-dollar military robot brilliantly disguised in an oversized clown costume. It's a crazy sequence. Now, I want you to notice the sharp contrast here between what the world sees and what's actually happening. Society and the media are in a total panic. They're broadcasting warnings about a dangerous rogue weapon that kidnapped a child. But the reality? Robby is just sitting quietly on a roof with Misha, looking at beautiful sunsets and Misha's unsymmetrical drawings. When Misha explains that art doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful, Robby totally gets it. The so-called weapon is just discovering the beauty of the world. Which leads us into a very dramatic section 4, the ultimate sacrifice. This whole misunderstanding comes to a dramatic head when one of Misha's classmates, Anton, totally betrays them. Ignoring all the danger, Anton records a video of Robby doing tricks just to get some social media clout. The military tracks that upload immediately and corners them at a cargo ship warehouse. General Oleg is literally ordering his men to use electromagnetic weapons to destroy Robby forever. Now Misha's father, Victor, finally starts to believe his son that Robby is actually good, but the general just refuses to listen. It really makes us ask, will society ever see him as more than just a weapon? Then, in a sudden, heart-stopping moment, right as the soldiers are advancing, disaster strikes. The cable holding a massive shipping container snaps. It breaks loose and it is plummeting directly toward General Oleg. Yeah, the exact same man who is actively trying to destroy Robby. Without even a second of hesitation, Robby steps in. He catches the falling container, completely sacrificing his own body to save the general. His hardware is crumbling and crushing under this immense weight, but he holds it just long enough for everyone to get clear before he is smashed beneath it. Robby proves right there that his empathy is far stronger than his programming. He chose to save the man who wanted to end his life. Let's look at the fallout of that in Section 5, Changing Minds and Hearts. That selfless, heart-wrenching act becomes the catalyst that finally shatters the adult world's rigid perspective. The stunned general realizes a so-called weapon just showed him pure mercy. All his talk about destruction just melts away. And Victor finally sees that his son's artistic, empathetic heart saw the truth all along. Misha didn't see a failing piece of hardware, he saw a friend. But wait, miraculously, as they pull the container away, Robby reactivates. He is heavily damaged for sure, but he's alive. Later, as they all gather around, the story beautifully circles back to where we started. Robby asks for a phone, not to analyze combat data, but to finally take a true family photo with Misha, Victor, and Nadia. He finally got his wish. So let's wrap things up with Section 6, Lessons for Us All. Speaking directly to all the students watching this explainer right now, what is the big takeaway from this incredible journey? Well, this story teaches us to look past the surface. It proves that being an artist with a creative perspective is just as valuable as being a math whiz. It was Misha's heart that saved Robby after all. It also shows us that true family is built entirely on acceptance, not just strict expectations. So whether you're struggling in school or feeling like you don't fit in, please don't let society dictate your worth. Your kindness and your empathy are your greatest strengths.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought to reflect on today. In a world that so often demands perfection and pure utility, who in your own life might just need a little empathy to reveal their true, beautiful self? Because sometimes the most profound connections come from the places we least expect. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.